Welcome once again to another Buy the Dips, Sell the Rips video. And boy, are we printing nicely. Oh my goodness, you guys don't even know. Last week, we gave you guys this coin, Creator Capital. And this one, guys, did beautiful for us, all right? Up at 30x here. So if you guys locked in last week, you guys should have printed heavy on this one. But with that being said, let's go take a look at the ones we're going to be calling to this week around. And like always, every Friday, I'll give you an update of how we do it. Now, one thing I do want to let you guys know, I've been seeing a couple questions. It's like, do I really need 200 Solana to start trading? You guys can start with 5 Solana, 20 Solana. I teach everybody inside the Boltz Alpha how to allocate their Solana when they're trading, so you guys can make some plays on almost every coin, and also on the coins we call inside Boltz Alpha. Talking about Boltz Alpha, we just called a nice little 3x right now, so a lot of people are printing on that one. But with that being said, let's dive right into it. So Prometheus, guys, I am still pretty bullish on Prometheus. Right now, it's running up to 619. I expect it to come down a little bit again around this 400 to, I'm going to say 500 range again. That is when you want to get in. That's when you want to come and see what's up. And that's where you guys would take the allocation here. And unfortunately, if you guys didn't get this one when we called it in the video at 200, this is the entry you're looking for. Potential 2 to 3x. That's what we're looking for. Maybe, hopefully, it goes a little bit higher, but that's what we're looking for here. So we're still have a pretty good allocation here. So Prometheus would be another one. I would just look for that entry. Anything below 500 or 525 around there, K. That's what we're looking at. The next one we have is Chud. Now, I did mention this one a while back. I'm re-mentioning it again. It ran up to almost 5 mil here on this crazy wick. And what we're looking for this is we're looking for a nice little retracement here down to that 1.8 range right here. That's where we kind of want to see and play it out. We ideally would win 1.5, but anything below 2 mil seems decent. But I always tell you guys, listen, if you want to get a very nice allocation, best thing you could do is get the lowest entry as possible. 1.8 looks like a sweet little spot there, but I think 1.5, we might see it. And that's where we kind of look at this one for a run up. Now, the thing with these, some of these might take a little bit longer. They won't just pump over in the whole week, but we are allocating to them as quickly as we possibly can. I think this week is going to be very good inside Boltz Alpha because we're going to catch a lot of early runners. So that's where we kind of want to get, where we're getting in very low, and we're getting a crazy X multiplier. Talking about one of those where I'm going to mention one a little bit later right now that we did so well inside Boltz Alpha. We recently just took a little bit of our position, and we'll talk a little bit about that in a little bit. The next one we have is NYAN, and this one right here, I really like a lot. It kind of already started getting this run up last week, and right now it's at 1.7. I want to see a nice little retracement. I think under 2 mil, it's still pretty good here at 1.7. I would probably like throw 1 Solana just to see what happens, because it could just completely run up really crazy. And the bid I'm looking for is anything below the 1 million, like maybe 800. I don't know. We'll see it again. So I just want to mention it. Or anything around here, which is like 1.2, 1.3. If I see that range, I'm definitely bidding a little bit more. But I do think this is going to get a nice little run up, a very memeable meme. So that's one that we're keeping an eye on. A little bit high, but one that could kind of do a nice little run up as we go in here. Speaking of ones that we called inside Boltz Alpha, guys, this one we called at a whopping 35K, fellas. 35K entry, okay? It took about 12 days for it to cook, and boy, did it cook. All right, we got like a 60x on this, actually 66x, but a 60x, we took a little bit of profit at that 60 multiplier. We're going to talk about that in the video that we're going to come out on Friday, but this one just did beautiful for us, okay? This one did beautiful for us, but it now came down from that 2.3 down to this nice bidding zone. What I'm looking for here is we're looking for something around here, 592. I don't think it comes this low, but I did want to mention it in case it does. But we're looking for it to stabilize around here, around that 750, 800 range. That's what I'm looking for, and a few accumulations around this range. I do think we see another nice little run up on this one. But if you guys were inside Boltz Alpha, this is the one that you cooked in a lot. So we have a nice little retracement here, and that's what we kind of want to see. The next one we have is MANLET. Now, this one in particular, guys, a little bit of a kind of like riskier coins from the ones I'm going to mention from right now forward. These are going to be a little bit riskier because either they're newer or they already have their initial pump, and you know they're kind of like skippity scappity. So on this one, Manlet, I like it. Went up to 8 mil. Right now it's at 1.6. Ideally, we want that 1.2 entry. You know, like 1.1, 1.2 entry. That's where we're looking for. And try to get that right there, 1.2, 1.3 around there. I think this one does a nice little run up here, but we want the perfect entry for this one. So that's what we're looking for Manlet. The next one we have is this one, which is called CVXV666. This one we have right now. I like the idea. 150 is not a bad entry. Okay, 150 is not a bad entry. This would have been better, 110. But we were actually calling a call inside Boltz Alpha. We had that entry, 110, but 150 is not that bad. I would look for anything below 200. You know, anything below 200 or below 150. That's kind of like the entry I'm looking for. I kind of like the concept on this, and maybe gets a nice little run up. So 157, not bad. 110 ideal. Okay, this is a newer coin. I don't know how it's gonna do, but the thesis is good. So that's what we're going for. The next one is a newer coin, and this one just literally pumped today. It was literally sitting at 400 and just boom, blasted to 13 million. Right now, we're kind of just seeing what this does and how low it goes. Ideally, guys, on these national pumps, crazy pumps here to 13 million, I don't want to see it go below a certain threshold, but I do want a very good entry. Okay, so I do want a really good entry. So ideally on this, I'm looking for something like around the 2 mil range, 3 mil range. So that's what I'm gonna see if it actually comes down to. If it doesn't come down to this, it's like, okay, well, I missed it, and we move forward. But that's kind of like what I'm looking at, 3 mil to 1.8, 1.5. If it comes down to this zone, it's a good bidding zone. See if it gets another pump up on this one. The next one we have is Marty. This was actually pumping right now as we speak. It ran up to 3.5, back to 240. We're kind of looking for allocation here within this 1.5 range and a little bit lower, maybe to this 1.1. We wanted to kind of hold in there and see what happens, and it could probably get a nice little push up this week. I mean, right now bidding at 2.3, it's a little bit risky to be quite frank, but I think that's where we're at right now. Okay. Next up, we have one that we're gonna be mentioning, and this one's completely almost to the floor. And this is called Soldier. Okay, and this is off a message that got posted by Solana, and it went up to 3 million, and now it's been like consolidating here at this 100 range. Ideally, I would like to get below 100, but literally 1.6, 106 to 100, it's not that big of a difference. Potential, I could see this one actually making a little bit of a comeback just off a tweet. So I like the risk here. It's basically either it bounces from 100 or 90 and it goes back up to like a mil or to 500 to a 5x, 3x, or it just completely dies out. But I'm willing to take that risk. And those are the ones we have for this week. Of course, we're going to be calling some other ones inside Boltz Alpha, and we actually just called one recently a couple hours ago, and that's doing pretty well for us. But if you guys want to lock in, now is the time. And guys, remember, every Friday, I'm going to give you guys an update on how we did, so you guys can know which ones we printed on, which ones we took a loss on, and how well we did throughout the week. Hopefully, you guys are able to lock in as well. Thank you guys for watching, and I will catch you guys on the next video.